Welcome in, everybody. It's the Craft Beer Republic. Thanks for drinking. Thanks for joining. I am Greg, and the master of computers over there, that is Flex. What up, big fella?
Howdy, y'all.
Wasn't expecting that, but howdy.
Still got a little south left in me.
Haven't quite shaken it all yet. I get it. And let me warn everybody, I'm still in the same hotel room as last week, so however bad it was a week ago, it'll be as equally bad this week. Apologies in advance. But shout out to our top listening city of last week, and that was Thousand Oaks, California.
There we go.
Over my hood. Shout out Thousand Oaks. What's up, everybody?
Super hoodie.
Super hoodie. Lots to get to today. I did some tripping, which meant some beer research, some booze news, all that good stuff. If you guys, and by you guys, I mean Flex, don't mind, I am going to just dig right into this beer because I'm very excited for it. Look, I found myself a little.
Can I just tell you
glass.
how great that looks? By the way,
my beer,
Yes.
very hazy, perfectly colored beer.
oh my god, I'm rocked up. I didn't think it was gonna happen this early. It's
Well, let me tell you about it. I went back to that same fine wine and spirits liquor store.
give me your finest IPA, sir.
What do you say? You hook it up with an IPA, pal. And I asked them for their finest hazy that's local. And well, this is only semi-local. This is actually from San Diego, but it's not something I ever see up in my hood. So I grabbed it because I fucking love this brewery. I am drinking North Park Brewing.
Ooh.
North Park Beer Co. Let me correct myself. And it's called Hops Are Flowers. It is 6.6%, has a solid 8 IBUs. And out of 1,400 ratings, it has a 4.22.
That's a lot of North Park shit.
Yeah, very respectable. This is a long one. They say florals for spring, groundbreaking. But hops for spring? Now that we can get behind. Blooming soon in a NPBC tap room near you are Hops Are Flowers, a triple dry hopped hazy IPA that's as fragrant as it gets. Triple dry hopped with a whole slew of Citra, Citra Cryo, Citra Dynaboost, Rawaka, and Nelson Sauvin. Hazies don't get better than this. A bouquet of tropical mango, grape, and intense citrus notes flourish, creating a silky smooth, juicy drinking experience followed by a clean, dry finish. Some flowers are for looking, others are for smelling, but these flowers are for drinking. We've already talked about how gorgeous this is.
Daddy. Triple dry hop, man.
That's a lot of hops. That's not a cheap beer.
No.
I heard they recently decided to add more hops.
I feel like that's going to be some lingering on the tongue jobber.
Yeah, I can tell you, it's fragrant. The nose buds are picking up some smells.
I do love that, though, with the dry hops.
It's like a tropical fruit salad on my nose buds. Mango. It just smells like a smoothie almost.
Really?
Yeah, it's delicious. Here we go.
Man, that's amazing.
Tongue jobbers getting jealous of the nose buds. Oh, it follows suit. It is mango. It is definitely silky smooth. Holy shit. But there's just enough carbonation to not make it flat. It's silky smooth, but it's still got some bubbles in there. It dances across the tongue. It does finish surprisingly dry for how fruity, like fruit salad sugary it is up front. I don't get necessarily a ton of grape, but it all blends together in a gorgeous fruit salad.
Maybe the dry finish is the grape.
Maybe so. You never know. I'm no expert. So I think I paid, this came out to like $6.50 for a single. I would definitely go back for a 4-pack.
I haven't even had it, and I would pay.
I'll spend the fucking $25 or whatever it comes out to. Daddy's rocked.
You know, the crazy thing about North Park is when I was on my vacation, we went to that wild grocery store. Like I said, their liquor department was humongous.
Mm-hmm.
And I hardly walked through it because we were in, it was just so overwhelming. And I was like, man, I should have looked, no joke, see if they had like North Park shit.
Oh yeah, I wonder if they'd have any West Coast shit.
I've seen some of that at some random bottle shops up here.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe people have connections. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I was like, man, I totally should have looked for some some California stuff.
You know what they had a few of? 450 North.
Those are in my local shop now in 12-pack variety packs.
I shit you not. I saw them last week in my local Total Wine.
The 12 packs?
Not a 12-pack. It
Or
was
just like
4 packs.
They still like a stupid amount of money.
Yeah. I think they were mid-20s. Honestly, I don't remember. I just remember at one point it was like, oh my God, 450 North. Splooge.
Yeah.
And now they're at a Total Wine across the country.
Before I saw the 12-pack on the shelf in my local shop, I was wondering if they were even still around.
Yeah, exactly. I can tell you I've still not bought one.
I've
after
had
Zach's story.
some traded to me.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple of 450s,
but I've never purchased them.
Yeah, even now that they're apparently really easy and I don't maybe they sold out, I don't know, but really easy to find. I still have not purchased one, but I stand with Zach on this one.
Yeah, forever fan of Zach. So
yeah, OG beer dude and the spiritual advisors. All right, like I said, I did some traveling, which meant I did some drinking.
Yeah, I'd
Couple
love
of
to hear
trips.
about this.
Yeah, first did another wakeboard trip, which means I probably did not drink any beer. It was all wine because I'm classy and it was wine country. But we did go to a very fancy restaurant. It was like Spanish. Because it was. Oh yeah, exactly. I was like, because it's my birthday month and we needed an excuse. I don't know. The friends we were with wanted to take me out and do some birthday things, and so we found that it's like Spanish tapas. And
I'm not a big fan of tapas restaurants.
Really? Oh, I loved it.
Yes.
We got like 5 different tapas, some paella, and then some little dessert things that we shared.
That were more tapas because they're
Right, they're tapas desserts, basically. Dessertas.
Oh, you shared tapas? No way.
Who knew? So, but bunch of wine drinking. The restaurant was amazing. I don't even know how to say it. If you're in Paso, it's S' Aranea. So I guess it's like Serenea. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't
S' Serenada?
No, S' then Aranella. So Serenea? I don't even. The S' thing is throwing me. Yeah. So we'll go with that. And did the wakeboarding. May have gotten a concussion. Not really sure. My wife thinks I did.
Not from the actual boarding.
No, just from hitting my head on the boat like an idiot. So I was wenching the boat onto the trailer and the wench broke and I had all my weight into it. And so then all my weight took my head into the boat. Yeah, it still fucking hurts.
It looks brutal, everybody. It
looks like an equal sign on my forehead.
It does.
I don't know why.
I can only see it when you lean forward. When you go back, it looks great. You look wonderful. Yeah, now you don't look great. Looks like you need to see a doctor.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah.
My stepsister's a physician's assistant. My mom was like texting her. Is Craig okay? I'm like, I'm fine. I've had, look here, I'm a former backyard wrestler. I've had concussions.
I was going to say, you are a professional wrestler.
Yeah. Retired at this point, but I have had concussions. I'm pretty sure I did not have one this time. Hurts like fuck, but I don't think it was a concussion. But my other trip, which involved some beer, was I had to go up to the Oakland area for work again. And while I was up there, I was all over the Bay Area. So I had to rent a car this time, which I never do. I'm usually like Ubering and stuff. And when I returned my car, I returned it in Berkeley and my hotel was in Emeryville. And for those that don't know, which is probably all of you except for Psycho Bear, it was about a 3.5 mile walk. And I could have Ubered, but I was like, oh, I'll walk it. It's a decent area and I need the steps and all that good shit. So I walked from the rental car to Wondrous Brewing, which I've had on the show before, is my little secret Emeryville brewery that anytime I'm in the area I try to get to. So walked over there, had a couple of beers, really good. I did have a weird thing happen. I won't name any names, but the beer tender who was working that day, I don't know, he seemed baked. Like maybe he's like super stoned or something.
Okay.
And I'm not hating on that at all. But I walked up and I ordered my first beer, which was a pale ale. I was like, hey, I forget the name. I was like, can I get the, the whatever? And he goes, yeah, comes back with a half pint. And I was like, oh.
Like in a pint glass or like in a...
No, it was a smaller glass. It was, and they have on the board, they have pint, half pint taster.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh, this is definitely not, 16 ounces, clearly. This is a half pint. I was like, okay, well, as long as he charges me for a half pint, I guess I'll just get more. That's something I can do because I'm an adult. And so went up, ordered another one. And this time I made sure to say, can I get a pint of whatever it was I ordered? It was Schwartz beer. And that time he brought over a pint. And I was like, oh, maybe I have to specify?
Specify? Yeah.
I never had that happen before, but I guess from now on I will specify I want a pint.
I feel like if you order a beer, the default is a pint.
Right. Usually it's like, or you ask oh, full pour? Like, yeah, or no. Whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Very strange.
That is strange.
Yeah. Anyways, super nice guy. It's fine. And he charged me appropriately. So I'm not mad about it, but just weird. So anyways, had me some Wondrous Brewing. And then on my way home, I'm at the Oakland airport. And at the Oakland airport, there is this place. It's called Vino Volvo or something. It's a wine bar, but they also have a couple of really good beers on tap. They always have Altamont Brewing, which is local up there, and they do some really good stuff. So if I want a beer, instead of just going to the bar unless I'm going to eat, I will go to the wine bar and have beer or wine. But in this case, I was having an Altamont beer. And I walk in and I can see people staring at one of the guys who was in there. And I look over and he's sort of standing up, not quite stable. Maybe had a couple too many beverages.
Oh, I thought it was a celebrity.
Oh, no. Very much not a celebrity. He looked like he was probably late 20s, kind of losery looking, just
unkept.
Just had the unkept kind of look to him. And I was like, oh, whatever. He's had a few too many. We've all been there. And so then I sit down, and as I'm waiting for the lady to come over to take my order, he stands up and knocks over just three empty glasses and something from the display, and glasses are breaking. And he's like, oh shit. Oh, and of course everyone's staring at him at this point. And one of the guys who works there, but was off or on a break or something, who's sitting at his computer, goes over. He's like, all right, man, let's cool it. Have a seat. And he's like, no, let me help. He's like, do not pick up broken glass. Sit right here. And he didn't want to sit down. Now, finally, he's like, you need to have a seat. For your own safety, have a seat so we can clean this up and get some water and all this other stuff. The guy looks more than drunk at this point. He looks like maybe he took something and drank a couple of drinks on top of that. Maybe he had an Ambien and his flight got delayed. I don't know. And so while someone's cleaning up the broken glass, security checkpoint is right across the way. And the guy who was trying to get him to sit down looks up, security looks at him, and he gives him the nod. And about 30 seconds later, two very large men in uniform walk up to the wine bar and look at the guy and look at the worker, and then point to the guy who was making a scene. And the worker nods and then sort of walks away. They, hey man, how are you doing? And he was so gone. He's like, hey, it's like that comical, hacky actor type of drunk. And he was like, hey, can I see your ID? And I check your name. And I'm like, oh yeah, I was just here having a drink. And it was bad. So they talked to him for a couple of minutes, and finally they go, hey, why don't you come with us? We're going to keep talking somewhere else. Oh, okay. And we just want to make sure you're safe. They walk right out the exit. I was like, oh, this guy's not getting on his flight. They just walked out the exit with him. So then as soon as he's gone, the lady at the table across from me turns over to me and she goes, did you see the whole thing? And I said, I don't think so. And I saw, I sat down about the time he stood up and started knocking shit over. And she goes, oh, you didn't see half of it. I said, go on. She goes, yeah, he was on the phone absolutely screaming at somebody for multiple minutes, just going on and screaming and screaming and screaming. And finally, I guess the worker who went to tell him to sit down after he broke all that shit was like, hey man, if you're going to be like that, you got to take your calls elsewhere. And, oh, I'm so sorry, and blah, blah, blah. So Anyways, quite the scene. The guy was absolutely shittered. And then I was thankful that I had never gotten that shittered at an airport before.
Yeah, I mean, there's the time and a place.
Yeah, I don't think the airport is where you want to get that fucking hammered.
I wouldn't think so. Think about all the
Yes.
money you spent on a plane ticket to just not use it.
Right. All the money spent. If you're drinking that much, it's crazy expensive.
Oh, yeah. At an airport? Absolutely.
If he's that hammered, I mean, dude must have dropped a couple $100 to get that hammered. Or like I said, he took something. Who knows? But
And I still
It was quite
remember
the
ordering
scene.
a Manhattan before a trip once. Our flight was delayed or something, so we got a bite to eat. And I was like, Manhattan before getting on a plane. Sounds really good. And we
Yeah.
got the bill. And it was a $28 Manhattan.
Ooh.
$28 airport Manhattan. So that was last time I ordered a Manhattan in an airport.
Yeah, I bet that hurt a little bit.
Yeah. Long story short, don't do it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Didn't even spit on it first.
No. You could buy a bottle, you could buy a mixer, and probably a glass for $28 and go to town on some Manhattans.
Yeah, you could get it all at home and have 30 Manhattans for that price.
Don't do it. It sounds really good and it's tempting, but do not do it. That's my PSA.
Not worth it.
Yeah.
All right, before we find out what Flex is drinking, I did come across this 4th of July poll that some beer company took. 80% of beer drinkers planned to imbibe on 4th of July, according to the poll, and are more likely to purchase a beer if they know it has a flavor they prefer.
Okay.
I guess that makes sense. But
does that make sense?
Who would buy a beer that they knowingly has a flavor that they don't prefer? I don't know.
Weird.
It was weird.
That is weird.
July 4th aside, 55% of drinkers said flavor helps close a beer sale. Flavored flavors include fruity, tropical, and crisp. Did they have Scott write this poll for them? Millennials were the survey cohort most likely to drink on Independence Day. And with 28% reporting they definitely will, followed by Gen Z at 23% and Gen X at 20% and boomers only at 13%. And then they asked which former founding father would they like to have a beer with?
Abraham Lincoln would be my guess as number one.
Well, he's not a founding father.
Oh, founding father. I'm sorry. I was just thinking of presidents.
Yeah.
Probably George Washington.
He was second. Number one, Benjamin Franklin.
Okay.
Ben was a partier. I'd have a beer with Ben Franklin.
When you got a guy who's out there trying to get electrocuted on purpose, sounds like a guy you want to party with.
Yeah, he knows how to party. Plus, I hear George Washington was quite the asshole. So maybe don't want to party with that guy.
Yeah.
Followed by, after those two, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Alexander Hamilton, and finally James Madison with 3%. But going back to what you were saying, I would totally have a beer with Abe.
Well, he used to wrestle bears, man.
Yeah, that dude. And he's like, 18 feet tall, and he did a lot.
He's kept a chin strap beard, no mustache.
Right.
I'd really like to ask him, does it just not grow? Like, is it a choice? Like, please inform me.
Is it a choice? And if so, who said that was a good idea?
What was his wife's name? Sarah? Maybe Sarah was super into it.
No, it's Mary Todd Lincoln.
No, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's way off. I was just
Or Sarah.
I'm not Abe Lincoln historian, so
Abraham Lincoln.
yeah. I just know he wrestled bears.
Yeah. That's pretty badass, actually.
Yeah. It's probably
I
the
got
most
questions.
badass thing in the world.
Yeah. He should run for president.
Yeah. I did a report on him in the 5th grade, and I read a book that said he wrestled bears. So
I actually never heard that before. That's pretty cool.
yeah, it's probably fake.
Maybe.
I got a D on the paper. It was 5th grade.
Well, maybe it was fake then.
Maybe I spent too much time on the bear wrestling, not what he actually did for the country.
It's like 90% bear wrestling. Like, oh, by the way, Civil War, slavery, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But did I tell you he wrestled a bear?
Yeah, he hoisted a bear on his shoulders, and JR exclaimed, "Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!"
By God, he's broken in half.
Yeah. That
Good times.
sounds like a paper that would get a D.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Gets an A in my book.
No, you're so
Yeah.
sweet. But alas, not an Abe Lincoln show.
Not a Abraham Lincoln show, but it is a beer show. Let's find out what you're drinking.
In a world where craft beer is king, a world where muscles are bigger than growlers, only one tongue can guide us. One man, one tongue, one tongue jobber. In this world, we must find out what is Flex drinking.
Drinking another road trip beer.
Mm.
So I had stated
Is
last
it the
week.
right one this time?
So it is. I stated last week when we went to Louisville, we got to our hotel. The hotel across the street had a brewery in this market on the bottom level.
Top shelf, bottom level.
Yes. It was called Country Boy Brewing. They're not located, like they're not Louisville based. They're Lexington based. It was just, in the hotel. But they had a hazy on tap. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to take a shot in the dark. I'm going to grab it, see what a Kentucky hazy's like.
Sure.
It was pretty damn good. Let me tell you.
Oh, all right.
It's called Witness the Citrus by Country Boy Brewing.
Okay.
It is 7% ABV, IBUs unknown, 6,000 check-ins, 383 overall. Not terrible, not great, not bad, but solid.
Yeah.
And Untapped reads New England IPA with Mosaic Citra and Simcoe.
Nice and easy.
They did have two hazies on the menu. One was allegedly brewed for the hotel that they were in, and that kind of threw me off. So I went with this one that they brewed, and it was wonderful. The notes on it, I don't know. I'll try and get into it in a little bit, but the can it's hard to tell because it's all like orangey, but it's like this landscape.
I actually thought it was clouds at first.
Yeah, no, it's not great can art.
Fuck that can.
But it says inspired by the Red River Gorge. So I'm assuming that's kind of where the can art comes from. Double dry hopped, it says on the can. They did not say that on Untapped. And there's no other information. It just keeps saying it's a New England style IPA.
Well, all right then.
So thank you, Kentucky. And wow, it was canned
6/19. Oh, okay.
So that's
pretty fresh.
Actually relatively fresh. That's pretty impressive for being in a hotel.
Unless it was 6/2019.
It does say 2025 on it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
6/19/2025. So on the old schnoz here, the nosebuds, definitely picking up some citrus.
Makes sense.
There's some mango in there. Yes, I am witnessing a little bit of the citrus. But really picking up on like that tropical mango. It smells, it's wonderful. Also, the color on this beer kind of almost looks like the color of the beer that was Life Changer in Ohio.
Oh, the one you should have gone? I still haven't gotten an email back yet, by the way.
This is, it's not as pale as that one was, but it's still hazy and it's wonderful. So we'll warm up the old tongue jobber here.
There we go.
A little swoosh here. Tons of citrus here. A little bit of that mango on the back end from the old nosebuds. Very light-bodied, low carbonation. A wonderful drinking beer. So I had this the first day. We spent 2 more days in Kentucky. And I said, if I don't go to another brewery, I'm going to go across the street before we leave, and I'm going to grab a pack of this if they have it. We did end up winding up at one brewery randomly. It didn't come up on maps or searching for restaurants or anything. Okay. And we were going to go to this place after going to Buffalo Trace, and it was called Bourbon on Main, right? Can't go wrong. Bourbon on Main in Kentucky. Sounds about right.
Sounds on brand.
And it looked a little, not great from the outside.
A little divey.
And it was right next to this place called Goodwood. Thank you. And my wife inspected Bourbon on Main, and she inspected Goodwood. And she said,
she did.
The menu at Goodwood looks better than the bourbon place. She said there's a lot more people in this place as well. So
it's a good sign.
Yeah, it's a good sign. Go where the people go. So
Right.
I had a couple beers at Goodwood. I know I'm not talking about my beer anymore at all. I'm sorry. It was a good beer.
It's
Get it
fine.
if you're in Kentucky. But yeah, so I had a couple beers at this Goodwood, by the way. I like to say that the beer scene in Kentucky, it's solid. Like for a place that's
All right.
really known for bourbon,
Sure.
the little bits of beer that I did have or found locally, very solid offering. I had 2 Live Brew, little play on 2 Live Crew. And
Big booty hose.
it was a classic double IPA, Imperial, West Coast. Very solid. There was absolutely nothing wrong with this beer other than I wish it was a hazy because I'm a whore.
Yes.
But it was a wonderful beer. And then I got their Louisville Lager, which was just a 4.2% lager because I still had to drive home from this establishment.
Oh,
Again, just very, very solid.
nice.
Accentuated the spice from the honey mustard for the pretzel we had. And once that cleaned off my palate, it was just a really nice, crisp, easy drinking lager. So, Kentucky beer, Goodwood, Country Boy Brewing. Wanted to make it to Bluegrass Brewing, didn't. Maybe next time.
Are you planning? Not planning, but like, are you looking forward to another Kentucky trip, or are there places you'd rather go first?
So we kind of had this discussion. We went to Ohio, and Ohio was fine. I will never have to go back to Ohio. Maybe if we go
Right,
to like
exactly.
Cleveland, catch like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, just stuff like
I
that.
think you're fine. You don't need it.
No. And then Indiana, by the way, is I'm sorry, Zach. I love you. It's the worst fucking state. Like,
Worse
it's
than
so
Florida.
boring. It's just so boring.
Yeah. Florida may not be boring. It just sucks everywhere else.
Yeah, it's so boring. So we had the discussion that we'd probably never head that way again.
Sure.
So on the way back home, we ended up stopping at the Indianapolis Zoo, which was a fine zoo. I've had some flamingos. That was kind of fun. I don't know. I would
Yeah.
really like to make it back to be able to hit some more distilleries,
Yeah.
like to
Go
do
to the
an
bourbon
actual, like,
trail.
like a bourbon trail. Which
Yeah,
the
let's
bourbon
do
trail,
it.
by the way, there's like nothing. Anybody going to Kentucky, let me tell you, if you don't do research beforehand, which I did not, you just assume everything's in Louisville.
Oh,
It's not.
Not so much. Yeah.
No, there's some distilleries that have like sister spots in like downtown Louisville. Like, I know Bardstown was down in Louisville. Mitchers was in downtown Louisville.
Hmm.
And they had, I think Evan Williams was downtown. And there's probably like 2 or 3 more places. But they're not the actual distilleries.
Sure. They're just like outposts.
Right. So then I was told to go to the Maker's Mark distillery.
Mm.
That was like 50 miles south of where we were. And it wasn't where anything else was that we were going to.
Yeah. Not worth it.
No. So then I started looking at all these other ones. And that's why we ended up stopping where we stopped, because it ended up being on a way.
Makes sense.
But yeah, everything is about anywhere from like 50 to 80 miles
Jeez.
outside of Louisville.
Well, I know that I've always been interested in the, the bourbon trail. My wife is a huge bourbon fan, and Deb and intern Brian are very much interested. So maybe, just maybe, we need a CBR group trip to the bourbon trail.
Like a craft bourbon republic.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. God damn it.
Great minds. Great minds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely do Kentucky again.
Yeah.
It is close to West Virginia, but again, if you go too far east,
Did the smell come
stay
over?
away. It didn't. We were further enough away,
That's good.
far enough away that it was no smell, nobody tried to eat me, so that was great.
It's good. Yeah.
And then I shouldn't say Nashville, but Tennessee is really close. It's right underneath Kentucky.
Right. And I know you're a big
Which-
Nashville fan.
I am, and this episode will drop when I'm coming home. My youngest daughter made this point like a month ago. Her birthday is late July, like yours.
Yeah.
But anywhere you go in late July is hot as balls, right?
Pretty much.
But she made the point that we've never been anywhere for her birthday before. And she was like, it's just kind of sad. Been to Disney for my wife's and my oldest's birthday.
Smart kid.
These last 2 road trips we've gone on these last 2 summers have been on my birthday. And she's just
got
like,
you wrapped around her finger.
She was just like, it's just kind of sad. And she loves Nashville. I don't know what it is. She loves Nashville. She loves Western shit, cowgirl boots, hats, the whole thing, the whole shebang.
She is Swiftie?
A little bit. Not as much as my oldest, but she enjoys it. But my wife, this was like 3 or 4 weeks ago now. She said, I looked into flights to Nashville on her birthday, and they're dirt cheap.
Oh.
We are going to wake up my daughter at 3 a.m. on her birthday and tell her that we're going to Nashville.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So that's going to be a day trip, spend the night, come home the next afternoon. And those are going to be my 2 days off from work. So it's going to be a week for me. Like, it's going to be pretty hectic. Like, I'm probably going to be really tired.
Right. Mr. No Days Off over here.
Right. But I will be heading back to Nashville in like a week and a half.
That's awesome.
So I don't know what point that had to anything. Just said I was talking about Kentucky and Tennessee, I guess.
Yeah, you're good. We're just rambling at this point.
Yeah. That's what we do.
Good shit. All right. Before we wrap things up, a couple of news stories before we get out of here. First, the UK is considering putting health warning labels on alcohol. I could read all the details, but I think you guys get the picture.
Do they not already?
You know, like even more like calories and, you know what?
I wouldn't
basically turning into cigarettes.
I wouldn't hate nutrition facts on.
I would love nutrition facts, though maybe I don't want nutrition facts, but I'm not against nutrition facts. I don't understand the whole like this may cause cancer thing or may cause, you know, whatever it may cause. It's like, yeah, hey man, we know. We're doing it anyways.
I'm sure it all resulted from like a lawsuit years and years ago where, you know, somebody smoked cigarettes and they got cancer and they're like, oh, hey, it's from the cigarettes. Oh, well, you never told me.
Right. Right.
You know, so I guarantee that's where that came from, derived from.
Probably. Missouri governor signs American Beer Act, slashing beer excise tax to the lowest in the nation. If you're looking to open a brewery, maybe you go to Missouri. The state excise tax rate on beer in Missouri has been cut by 2/3. Governor Mike Kehoe, signed into law House Bill 1041 on Thursday, which set excise tax rate to 62 cents per barrel for all malt-based alcohol beverages produced at Missouri breweries, a drop from the previous $1.86. The new rate is the lowest beer excise tax in the nation. So if you use the Beer Institute shipment volume as a proxy for total in-state production, Missouri breweries would have paid $6.5 million in excise tax at the $1.86 rate. The total would now only be $2.1 million at the 62-cent rate.
Not bad.
That's nerd speak for way less taxes for breweries.
Good for them, especially because they're not able to distribute great. Because
I can't remember Missouri's distribution. I'm sure it's awful because that's where Budweiser is.
Right.
And Budweiser is awful.
They really are.
We'll end on this one. Plane passengers soaked in booze after bottles burst during rough landing. Passengers on a Ryanair flight were unexpectedly showered with booze after several bottles burst into the overhead bins during a bumpy landing. In the clip that was posted on TikTok, cheekily captioned POV, you fly a Ryanair, a hoodie-clad woman is seen drenched in the aisle while a stream of unidentified clear liquid waterfalls onto her and her belongings from the overhead bin. I feel like I've seen this movie before. Wasn't my favorite. Her neighbor, who is seated, is also visibly drenched by the leaking liquor, bringing new meaning to flight of alcohol. The caption read, "The landing hit the ground so hard it broke 2 bottles of alcohol in the overhead locker and poured all over us, but at least the seats were nice and clean." Whoops.
See, I was expecting like a bunch of champagne to break. But 2 bottles, that's it?
Yeah, that doesn't seem that bad.
No, I thought it was going to be like everything that they had in like the back for the orders. Like it'd be like a beer grenade or something. Like,
right, exactly. But
it's
yeah,
kind of lame.
that would be a little disconcerting though if you don't know what's above you and like bumpy landing happens and all of a sudden you're just drip, drip, drip. Like, oh
I
my
guess you're
God,
right.
what is dripping on
Like,
me?
what is coming out of the plane?
Yeah, exactly.
Fair
and then
enough.
once you realize it's liquor, that's when you just stick out your tongue. And,
I would say open up your mouth.
Sir, that's rubbing
You know
alcohol. Worth it.
I did see that movie.
I think we watched similar films. Oh,
Gross.
geez. Yeah, that feels like a very good time to end things.
As always.
Yeah. Not at all related, but hi, Vanessa.
Hello, Vanessa.
Sorry about that transition. Follow us on the socials at Craft Beer Republic, at Flexing Beer, underscores in between, 805-538-BEER, 2337. I do believe that's everything. I hope everyone is staying very well hydrated.
And on that note,
Good night, everybody.